My friend, part 2, This Land Is Your Land, Woody Guthrie, page 55 in Open G. We're going to take this super slow, note by note, finger by finger. Going to try and keep it underneath 5 minutes. Stay till the end to learn a special treat. G is going to do a hammer onto A as an 8th note. So 1, 2, and go to the B string. We're going to be playing with the middle finger, and then we're going to be playing with the thumb. So the rotation is going to be middle, 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 thumb. It's going to feel weird. What we're doing is we're doing kind of like a forward roll. We're going to be doing open G, hammer onto the A, play the B, play the G, open D, and then we're going to be playing the B again. So when we do that, it makes sense to use just our middle finger and our thumb, or our first finger thumb. If you're trained bluegrass style, it would make sense to have just like, because all the fingers have their functionality, right? Do. But if you're doing claw hammer, you could even incorporate doing just the thumb and the middle finger, the thumb and the pointer. So going through here, we're gonna move that finger off. Open, G, hammer on, B, G, D, B. We're gonna have that B hammer on to C. 1, 2, 1 and 2 and. So we're going up and down. Open 1, hovering up to the open D string, and then right back to the B string on the C note. And then we're gonna do a pull off from our 2 fingers. So our finger mechanism should look like this. And pull kind of down if you want to. That also works really well to derive a sound in the beginning. And we're going to do a double pluck on that after we hit that open note. 2 open, and then right on that with the what is that? D, E, E, D, D. And then we're going to drop right back down to a C on our last beat, the and of the 4. And then we're going to play slide up from 2 to 5. Now here's what it's going to look like. I don't prefer to slide with my first finger. I prefer to slide with my 3rd finger, or at least my 2nd finger. When I slide with the first finger, that means I'm all the way up here and I have to jump back to do anything below that. And it looks like sight reading just a little bit before. Yeah, we're gonna do some stuff on the 5, but we're gonna primarily stay below the 5th fret. So slide up to the 5. So practice that a couple 100 million times. Do it with all your fingers. Get really efficient pushing that note in, sliding through the metal frettings. Nice. Once you get that mechanism, go back to the top. Write that little neuron synapse. Yeah. Should have practiced it one more time, huh? All right, so when we're going to the 2-5, hit the 5 again, and then the open high G. Boom. So double note play. So that's what we're looking for. That's the mechanism. Go back to the beginning of that C banjo break. We're going to do a double note pluck after that 5, just like we did a double note pluck after the 2. After we do the 5, we're going to do that as well, and then we're going to hammer on to the 2. How fun. And then that ends the phrasing on the open note D for the G strum down, and then we're going to do a quick walk down. How fun was that? Open D, C, open B, A, and then G, plectrum strum with an 8th note. That takes us through. Let's go back up to the top. Watch it again. Here we are. Here's our 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and. So when we move the chord from the C to the G to the D7, the first move we have is another walk down leading into the D7. The first one was. The next one after a plectrum 8th note is a fun, so it's completing a line. And then it does an open 8th note, hammer on, play the chord, and then play the D. That's our feeling. Double strum on that D. open D high, 1 string. We're gonna play the 2 string, but as a C note. And then we're gonna be taking it to that same extreme to play an open 8th note from the G to the A, play down on your D7, play your low D, 4 string, open 2, play it again. So it repeats a hit. 2 open, pluck after the 2, and then on the open B, we're gonna do that same thing with the 5, but play an open B all the way up to the 9th fret. Nice. And as you can see, the reoccurring theme is we're playing the double notes over the top. Here we have a hammer on, and it's just the same lick. That we played before. Here's a new one. Pinky up on the 4th fret. Pull off, pull off. So we're going from the 4 with the pinky, or the 4 with the pinky and the middle finger, and then off if you want to play with the 3rd finger. That's what it's going to feel like. I'd rather play with my 2 and my 4 because it's going to jump right back to the 1 fret. Here's the 5th fret. Last measure, high C. We're going to play a G with the high note in it, right? So we got our B popping up top. How fun was that? Let's take it back from the banjo break. Here's our lead in. Put a mild retard on over there. The idea is break this whole thing up into sections. When you break up the first 3 or 4 measures, you'll feel the phrasing. So the phrasing from C to G. Imagine that over the top of the C. So when you play that, maybe a good plectrum stum for the C. Also do a couple little slide-ins to the 2, because that's where you're going anyways. Hammer on 2 or slide on 2. Both of them feel really good. Some of the takeaways from this session were to try and do your slides with multiple fingers so you get used to doing that, and you could go to 1 fret or whatever your brain tells you that you kind of want to jump from one to the other. Anywho, hope you had fun today. Hope that helps you in your quest to play This Land Is Our Land. This is, of course, off of the 51st songs you should play. And yeah, I like the way the book's kind of laid out for the tablature. It's giving us the basics of a couple clawhammer, basics of a couple bluegrass tunes, and there's like 48 more tunes to do. Aloha.